Welcome to our chair yoga class. Today we're going to focus on building internal awareness. So connecting to sensation as we move through our yoga practice. So find a comfortable seated position. Move a little bit away from the back of the chair, engaging your postural muscles. See if you can tuck the head gently in, bringing the ear over the shoulders over the hips. And just begin by just kind of gently move a little bit side to side, front and back, until you feel like you're pretty even on the chair. Take a breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Kind of letting go of whatever you were doing before and coming to the present moment. Arriving just as you are. No need to change anything of how you're feeling. Any aches or pains, begin to become aware of that. Maybe even closing the eyes. Noticing any discomfort in the body. Maybe some build-up energy. And then if the need to move happens, that's okay, right? Everything is as is, and we're just staying with it. No need to change anything. Take a moment of silence to arrive in your body. Allow your eyes to open. Bring the hands to heart center. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice. So it could be whatever comes to mind. Maybe it's strength. Maybe it's finding calmness or joy. Don't think too much about it. Just kind of whatever comes to mind. And just set that intention for your practice. Above all, to be present in this moment, here and now. All right, begin to rub the palms together. We're going to start working a little bit of mobility, right? Staying with all our joints and seeing if we can kind of release a little bit of the tension. Open, close the hands. We'll do one open, one closes, waking up the brain. All right, and then on the next breath, releasing the arms down. Lengthen the spine, open the arms, mountain pose seated here on the chair. Begin to gently rotate the head around and around. Noticing how the neck feels today. Rotate the other direction. Try to keep the movements to the frontal plane, not going too far back or too fast. Bring it the first direction, maybe moving a little bit slower. Again, noticing the sensations in the neck, trying to stay present. Switch direction. And then coming to center. Roll the shoulders up and back. Beginning to slowly make those circles a little bit closer towards your ears. Now remember, as we go through the class, trying to stay with your body, and if there's anything you cannot do because of pain or injury, just listen to your body. Roll them again, different direction. And then one more time. All right, coming back to center. Bring the hands here at heart center. Rotate, warming up through the wrist. And rotate the wrist the other direction. Press the arms out and then bend and straighten, trying to bring the arms a little bit longer every time. Bring them out and then rotate around, coming to the knee and to the shoulder height. And the other direction. And coming back to center. Some sun breath. So take an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Follow the hands with your eyes. Exhale, release to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to heart center. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale to heart center. Round your back as you interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Add a little side bend, bend the elbows, waking up around the side of the body. The other way, one way, the other way. Pause on the next one. And again, notice the sensations in your body. Notice how one side opens up, the other one becomes a little bit smaller. Notice here on this side. And come back to center. Squeeze the shoulders into the back. And on the next breath, release the hands. Hold the knees and round your back. Inhale, open. Squeeze the shoulders into the back. Rise the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come in. And then come to neutral spine this time around. Begin to rotate the trunk in circles. Feeling that connection with our lower back. Take a breath in, a breath out. Remembering to keep that breath flowing as we move through the practice. Come to the other direction. Notice if it feels even, right? Sometimes when we move one way, it feels one way, and then it might feel a little bit different, right? It might not, but just notice. Go again, first direction. And the other direction. All right, coming to center, sitting upright. We add a twist to the spine. So coming over to the side, looking over to the back. See if you can look far with your eyes. Come back to center, long spine, over to the other side. Let's do one more to each side. And the other side. And then coming back to center. All right, we'll stand up and we'll warm up the lower body standing up. So coming behind our chair. And if you don't need the chair, you can move it a little bit to the side. Otherwise, you stand right behind your chair and you can hold on to it if you need to the whole time, or you can keep the hands on your hips or one hand in the chair, one hand on the hip. All right, so we're gonna begin just kind of pedaling the feet. So you're gonna lift, I'm gonna stay to this side so you can see. So up and down, lifting one heel and then the other heel. Waking up our feet. On the next breath, we add little sit, right? As if we're sitting on the chair. And then we lift up, lifting off the heels. Drop down, lift off the heels. Down, off the heels. One more time. And then coming to center. Right, find circles with the leg, around and around. Again, if I don't need to hold on, hands on the hips, or maybe one hand on the hip, one on the hip, on the chair. Bring it the other direction, warming up at the hip joint. And then coming to center. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring it the other direction. And then coming back to center. We walk in place, just kind of getting a little bit of the heart rate up and building a little bit of coordination. So making sure we do opposite arm to the leg. So right leg, left arm, and then you walk in place. Now look at my arms, not up and down, but keeping the arms right at that 90 degree and just moving from that shoulder joint. Keep that breath flowing. Maybe add a smile. All right, and then come back to mountain pose. So stacking the joints in mountain pose, just like we did with the chair. Tuck the chin, ears, shoulders, shoulder, hips, and then hips and ankles. And then shift the weight again, like we did seated. Move the weight now to the left leg, the right leg, maybe a little bit forward and back. And then see if you can balance as even as we can on both legs. Now we might notice that we lean more to one side than the other, that's normal, but just take note of that, if that is the case for you, right? coming into our practice, right? Moving beyond the movement and into what is going on with my body today. All right, on your next breath, we reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, or palm tree pose, reaching those fingers up and overhead. Lengthen from your crown of the head and up. See if you can grow a little bit taller. Remember, this is very important for spinal health, creating space between the vertebrae in the spine. That's one of the things that doctors recommend the most, especially with spinal health conditions. Long spine, right? Breathe in and breathe out. All right, open the arms out and to the side. We add a little coordination again. So we're gonna move one arm down, right? Coming from that shoulder joint, and then one up, and they're gonna rotate at the same time. And then we're gonna move from side to side, gazing towards the palm of the hand. One more. All right, let's see if we can add a little challenge to this. Okay, let's take a little break first. My arms are getting heavy. All right, we do it again. So one up, one down, and I'm gonna try to add a dual task for the brain. So walking in place as I rotate my arms, one up, one down. And then coming back to center. Bring the hands here, take a breath in. We call this position Samastitihi, right? When we come into heart center and you focus inward. All right, circle of joy. So for this one, we do have to give a little smile. So it could be a soft smile. You don't have to bring your teeth out if you don't want to. So press the arms out. Bring the arms up and overhead. Bring the arms behind. You're gonna interlace your fingers, open the chest. And this is a flow, right? With circle of joy, we don't stop. Switch the other index finger in the front, press the arms out. Reach the arms up. Right? Moving with the breath. Interlace, lift the chest up and forward. Bring it in, press out, reach up. Bring it behind, interlace the fingers. We have one more round. Bring it in, last one. And we come back to Samastitihi. Now you might notice as we move through the practice, heart rate goes up, right? Or it might go down if I bring it to heart center. You might feel energy flowing through the shoulders, through the arms, right? Tingly sensation, kind of warm feeling in the body. So that's what I want you to keep coming back to, connecting to what we're feeling as we do these yoga moves, right? We do them for a reason, not just because, right? Yes, they're good because we're stretching and it's getting our body healthy, but there's also other things that happen, and we discover that by paying attention. All right, we're gonna begin with a gentle flow of sun salutations, and just nice and gentle, but we flow from movement to movement. Reach the arms up, inhale, exhale, come to heart center. Salutations to the sun and to the awakening light within. Breathe in, inhale. Bend forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little bit deep. Inhale, press to down dog. That's where we press the hips back. And if you don't feel comfortable going so low, you can stay a little bit more upright, but keep the head above the heart. On the next breath, inhale, walk to the front, sit in an imaginary chair and bring the arms in front of you. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale to heart center. We repeat that again. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, out of the forward fold a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Press to downward facing dog. Walk forward to chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach up. Exhale to heart center. All right, we add to this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale through the center. Halfway lift. Exhale all the way to downward facing dog. All right, instead of walking forward, we're gonna bring the right leg between the legs of the chair. Inhale, lift the chest up, lengthen the back heel to the ground. You can stay right here, or you can lift one or both arms above the head. If you feel unsteady, please do hold on to that chair. On the next breath, 1 or 2 steps brings you back into chair pose. Coming back to heart center. Breath in, breath out. Again, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Down dog. We switch legs. Now, the left leg comes between the legs of the chair. Again, one arm lifts. If it's just one, switch the arm that went up, or both arms are up. 1 or 2 steps brings you to chair pose. Sit. And all the way back to heart center. We continue to add. Breathe in through the center fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down, walking to downward facing dog. Right leg comes between the legs of the chair. Now from here, if I'm able to lift the arms all the way up, I'll do that. If not, I'm gonna hold on with my left hand because I'm adding a twist. So twisting slightly over towards that right side. See if you can gaze back towards the hand. Inhale, bring that back to center. 1 or 2 steps brings you to chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to center. Take a pause here. Notice your left side, notice your right side. You will spot differences if you pay attention. Reach, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. All the way down and into downward facing dog. Left leg comes forward between the legs of the chair. Press away. Again, if both arms can come up, they lift. Otherwise, now the right hand stays there as you twist over to the back. See if you can gaze towards the back hand. Inhale, back to center. 1 or 2 steps brings you forward to a chair. Reaching up. Exhale to heart center. Come to mountain pose. Again, try to stand tall and proud. Think of a mountain, right? Steady through the roots, through the top. All right, we go into the warrior series. So we're gonna begin opening for warrior 2. So the legs can come about the width of the chair, maybe a little bit longer. You're gonna pivot the back foot in, and then you're gonna turn the foot here. You keep the chair there. I'm gonna move my chair a little bit out of the way, that way you can see my legs. So about heel alignment, and then if I need to hold on to my chair, I hold on with a back hand. Otherwise, arms come up. You want both arms at the same height. So just take a look to the arm in the back, and then the one in the front, see if you can get them at the same height. I'm gonna move the warrior, okay? So we're gonna go, inhale, arms up, straighten out the front knee, come through the center, and then exhale and open. In breath, out breath. One more, in breath, out breath. Hold the warrior here. Turn the palms towards the front of the room. Now from here, if you can balance, if not, just hold on to the chair and ignore this part. You're gonna reach towards this hand, and we're gonna pause if we're pulling a bow and arrow. Bring it back 3 times. Last one. And then release to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten out through the front leg, reach back. You're gonna grab below the wrist and reach into sky archer. See if you can look up to the ceiling as you do this. Again, if I cannot let go of my chair, that's it. You just reach like this instead of holding onto that arm on the top. And then come back. Bend the front knee back into that warrior 2. Turn the toes to the front, pause here in the center. Notice again, notice the left side, the right side. Notice if you spot any differences. We take a forward fold here before we do the other side. So you're gonna hold on to your hips or your chair, and you're gonna fold forward with both legs straight. See if you can bring the trunk parallel to the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale slowly, keeping your abdominal muscles engaged as you come up. We open to the other side. I'm gonna move my chair here so you can see my leg on this side. So pivot, back toes slightly in, these toes out. You're in warrior two on the other side, right? Right here. Again, take your time, look to the back arm, make sure that it's at the same height. Come back, we start moving our warriors. So we go inhale, straight leg, exhale through the center of the spine, open up, reach up. One more time. Hold the warrior. Again, notice if you're steady. If not, please do hold on. Palms of the hands face to the front. Reach the arm here. Pull back as if you're pulling something heavy. Bring it in. Pull back. And one more time. Very good. Coming back to center and into that warrior two. We're reaching back. Again, if I need to hold on, all I'm gonna do is this, reach. Otherwise, I'm going below the wrist for sky archer, lengthening, right? Kind of reaching that arm a little bit to the back. And see if you can gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming back to center. Pivot both feet to the front, come into heart center, right? Again, take a note of how the body feels. Maybe allowing the eyes to close if you feel steady. If not, always keep your eyes open. We go again into that forward fold. Hands on the hips, abdominal muscles engaged. You come with the trunk parallel to the floor, keeping the head above the heart. Let the breath flow. Relax through your pelvic floor muscles, your inner thighs. And then inhale, slowly coming back to center. Toe heel the feet together, coming back into that mountain pose. All right, on the next breath, open up a little bit. So careful, we're gonna start moving a little bit into a twist here. So if you have any spinal condition, any slip disc or anything like that, just do a little bit less than what I'm doing. So we move the arms, we call this empty coat sleeves. So as if we have no arms inside the coat sleeves. Side to side, if you wanna go a little bit more, you pivot and lift the back heel off the ground. Do a couple more times just to kind of release through the spine. And then back to center. We walk the feet again together. Hands can hold on to the chair if needed. Otherwise, we come and sit down, breathe in. We're gonna do that same movement that we pull back, follow the hand and bring it forward. Try to only twist from your spine. So don't pivot your knees or your hips. Just keep them to the front. 2 and 3. Bring it to center, all the way up, just to give the knees a little bit of a break. Sit back down in that imaginary chair. Pull back and bring it back. Pull back. One more time. Inhale, we bring it back and all the way up. Exhale, coming to heart center. Arms up, inhale. Interlace the thumbs, so they're gonna interlace like this, and the index finger gonna come together. We're gonna lean over to the right, move the hips to the other side, bring it to center and over to the other side. Let's do that one more time to each side. Try to keep the arms straight, shoulders gently down the back. And then bringing it back to center. Release back to the mountain. Take a deep inhale. Let the breath go through the mouth. Again. So remember, as we go through the practice, breath is always in and out through the nose. Sometimes I'll ask you to just go, to kind of relax, let the heat out, but normal breath in and out through the nose, okay? So a little bit of coordination. You can keep the feet close to the floor if your balance is a little bit off, or you can just lift the heel if you like. So first, we're just gonna begin touching shoulder and hip. You see how I'm across? So right hand touches left shoulder, and then left hand right hip. And then switch it up. Now I'm trying to move where it's a fast movement if I can get this going. If not, please continue to move slow. Once you get this going, Again, either lifting the heel off the ground if I cannot lift the foot, or lifting those legs off the ground and walking in place. So this is asking the brain a dual task, requires a little bit more coordination than if I'm just moving my arms. Very nice. All right, we're gonna switch it up. So now I'm gonna try to touch either the knee or the leg, doesn't matter, whatever you can find, and the opposite shoulder. Again, so I can still do it where it's here, if I need to stay close to the floor. And then see if you can add a little bit of speed. All right, I love to incorporate all those movements that are contralateral movements to give the brain a little bit of a challenge as well. Take an in breath and an out breath. All right, continue with the warrior postures. So again, if you need to hold on throughout, the chair is right there, you use it as needed. So opening up into that warrior two. Gazing over towards that middle finger in the front hand, lengthening up. We're gonna begin to move a little bit into a flow where we go reaching back, straightening out the leg, and then coming forward into triangle pose. So now both legs are straight. You look up towards the ceiling if your neck's okay. Otherwise, you can look straight ahead or even a little bit down. Again, coming back into that warrior two. Reaching back, revolve warrior. Coming straight into triangle pose. We do this one more time. Bend into warrior two, Virabhadrasana two, revolve warrior, and then coming into triangle pose. Coming back to center, pivot the foot. Again, we fold forward into Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale on your next breath, slowly engaging the abdominal muscles. Pivot, back foot. Warrior two on the other side, gazing towards that middle finger in the front hand. Straight leg brings you back. Revolve warrior. Coming into triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale back to warrior two. Reaching back. Coming forward to triangle. We have that one more time. Reach it back. Coming to triangle. Bring it back to center. Start position. Hands to the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, bring it back to center. All right, toe heel the feet together, coming into that mountain pose. Okay, notice the energy, right? Flowing through the lower body. Tingly, warm sensation, right? Legs feel awake. Heart rate should be a little bit up. We find our balanced postures. So for this one, I am gonna keep the chair close by. And again, you could be right here with both hands on the chair, or you can be a little bit more to the side, holding on with one hand. So we're coming into tree pose. So your foot is gonna come like this, and you're gonna open and close a couple times just to get the hip a little bit more warmed up. And then you're gonna point that knee towards the side, but the hips point to the front, and so does your body. I can keep my foot on the ground, I can bring it below the knee, or I can even bring it a little bit higher if that feels okay. So I'm gonna go back here, but if you feel like you can hold, even holding onto the chair with a leg up, you can keep it there. Bring the arms into branches or arm. The thumb and the index are gonna meet in Gaya Mudra. This is kind of helping you kind of concentrate a little bit more. If both my arms can go up, I look like this. If not, I hold on. Now find a point. We call this a drishti, or a focal point, and that's what you're looking at. It's a point that's not moving. Allow your breath to deepen. Begin to grow roots through the feet, right? Like really anchor through the corners of your feet, of your foot. Only one on the floor, right? And then engage your quad, engage your abs, your glute, and see if you can stand a little bit taller. Okay, we add a little bit more here. So I'm gonna bring that foot in front, heel-toe alignment. Foot is gonna land on the floor. If I become really unsteady, I can stagger the feet where the foot is in front but to the side. That's gonna be a little bit more doable. So just see what works for you here. Again, allow the spine to lengthen. Find that focal point that's not moving. Repeat silently, I am calm. I am poised. I am calm. I am poised. Very good. Let it go. Kind of move a little bit before we do the other side. If you're on the side of the chair, you can move to the other side if you know you need the chair. Now here we open, close. And then move it to the side and see, like one side is very different. But for me, it's like night and day. So you can bring the foot here and see how you do, or you can just keep it down below where I'm gonna keep it. Now the other hand will go up, right? If you only have one, or if they're both up, just find the branches of your tree. Keep the breath flowing. Continue to find your drishti and repeat silently, I am calm, I am poised. Foot comes in the front, either stagger or heel-toe alignment. Stand tall, find your balance here. Again, if you don't need to hold on, your hands can be on your hips. You can bring the hands into an airplane, whatever is comfortable for you. And slowly release, kind of move a little bit again, maybe even moving side to side. All right, we'll come back to the chair. We'll sit, and remember, as we go through the class, if you need water at any point, now's a good time. You can always stop and get some water, whatever you need. So just taking a moment, maybe even closing the eyes. Just taking a moment to notice if anything has changed or shifted from when we first started. And maybe it did, maybe it didn't, just noticing. And then allowing the eyes to open. All right, we're gonna do a breathing technique, and I'm gonna use a hand gesture. So your right hand, this hand, and you're gonna close your right nostril with your thumb. You're gonna inhale through the left side. You're gonna close the left side, exhale through the right, in through the right, close out through the left. So in through one, out the other. You can close your eyes if you like. So this breathing technique is very good to balance the brain, takes a little bit of coordination, and allows you to be in the present moment. It calms your nervous system. It's very good for sleep, to induce sleep. It's just very relaxing. So try to tune in. Notice the breath coming in, cool as it comes in, a little warmer as it leaves the nostrils. Do one more round. Finish your last exhale through the left side. That's more of our cooling side. And when you're done, take your time releasing the hand. Again, noticing, right, why do we do all these things? And what is the effect of these different things in my body, in the state of my mind? And then allowing the eyes to open. We're gonna find eagle pose. So you're gonna cross your right leg over the left. And if it's uncomfortable, cross the legs, you can always do it with the legs down. We're gonna bring the left arm and the right is gonna go under. So try to stack the elbows as close as they can come towards one another. They might not, and that's fine. But you feel a stretch through the back part of the body. So that's what you're looking for. Then if the hands can come and meet like this, right? So they're basically like this, it's just one, it's gonna be a little bit closer to the bottom, right, to the wrist than the other. And then lift slightly up. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the elbows slightly off the chest. Maybe repeating the affirmation for this pose silently in your head. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Come and release the arms, draw that left arm down, reach the right arm up. And then coming back to center. Release the leg, switch it up. We switch the arms, so now you have your right and your left is gonna go under, so the other side. Lift the elbows. Again, find the breath, make it deep. Notice what happens between your shoulder blades when you deepen your breath. Notice sensation there, right? Staying with our body. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. Release the arm, right arm down, left arm up this time. See if you can gaze up towards the hand. Coming back to center, releasing, and then sitting all the way back. All right. We're gonna come into a relaxation. I'm going to guide you through relaxation, which you can do on the chair, right? You can sit all the way into the back of the chair if you like. You can lay on the sofa, or if you still do yoga on the floor and you want to lay on the floor, you are welcome to do that. But just find a place where you can be still and calm. Maybe even close your eyes. And I'm going to be playing some of the singing bowls. So trying to kind of connect to the sound, which that vibration is very good for our nervous system. It really induces a deep sense of stillness, calmness, and it just feels really nice. So sit back and relax. Beginning to connect to the breath as you allow your eyes to close. Just taking a moment to arrive in this place right here, right now. Letting go of anything that you don't need. Connecting to the sound. Every time you notice your mind wandering, bring that mind back. Continue to connect to the sounds. Beginning to bring the awareness back by moving fingers and toes, connecting to other sounds you hear around you, allowing the eyes to open. Take a few breaths together, seal the class, breath in, and bring it to heart center. Again, breath in. One more time. Taking a moment to thank yourself for coming to find your yoga practice. You can say your name after Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.